Hello. So I'm going to start by asking you all to imagine a few things with me. So imagine if government came pre-installed. Imagine if your city council was on Slack. Imagine if one night you were working late and you got this message from your local police department. Imagine if you were laid off from your job, but you woke up to this message. Hi, Jacob, we're so sorry to hear that you were laid off. That's one of the hardest things for a family. We automatically started you your unemployment insurance, and your first deposit will come in just a few hours. We wish you the best in finding a new job, and please feel free to reply directly to this message if we can help with anything else. Remember, we got your back. Warmly, the state of California. Or imagine that you walk into Safeway, you walk into the grocery store, and you see your neighbor checking out with a full cart and her 2 kids running around, and you see that her credit card is declined, and you know that she doesn't have any money until her next paycheck comes in at the first of the month, and this time it's okay, because she can just use Snap. We have a chance to build government services that put people first, and that is a super big deal. It's really important, and we shouldn't mess it up. It's like the most important thing in the world, literally. Okay, so that was a quick look forward, hopefully, and now I want to go back. So less than 15 years ago, in order to get food stamps, which we now call SNAP or CalFresh in California, you had to wake up super early, wake up before your job, usually go wait in line outside of the local welfare office. You would have to fill out reams of paperwork when you got in there. You would actually have to get fingerprinted along with your family. And then at the end of the day, you would end up with a little stack of very conspicuous paper that kind of advertised to everybody around you what you were willing to endure. Today, you can apply online from your home. You can do your interview over the phone at work. And you can get basically a debit card in the mail. That is amazing. And as a result of all this, Snap now supports nearly 50 million Americans. Every year it keeps over 2 million children out of poverty. And many would argue Snap is literally the most important safety net program in our country. Snap is so awesome. It's my favorite thing. We are so lucky to have it. But still, when you apply online, a lot of times you'll see something like this. So the websites are down all the time. So in New Hampshire and Arizona, the websites are down all night, every night. The websites have business hours. It's not funny. And when the websites are up, they make you do the work. What type of street type do you live on? I live on street type street. This is not better than paper. And if you step away from your computer for a few minutes and you go try to find your pay stubs or some income documents you need to upload, oftentimes when you come back, you'll have been timed out for security purposes and you have to start over. If you call the office with questions, the phone systems don't respect your time. This is Tim O'Reilly talking about the New York Times phone tree. This stuff is way worse. Tim O'Reilly cannot imagine. But more importantly, you get things like this. What are old disabled people supposed to do to put food on the table when they can't work? Do we have to lose our home and be homeless to get help? Our government should be ashamed. These small things add up. Just in California, there are over 2 million people who qualify for SNAP and are not getting it. That is more than San Jose, Oakland, San Francisco combined. So I think most people think about government like this. This is how it works. Or maybe more like this. So we write a policy, we implement it, and then who knows? We usually don't look back. We assume it works even if it's not working. But recently, thanks to you, literally the people in this room, the folks at GDS, UK Government Digital Services, the more recent teams at 18F, and more recently the founding team at the US Digital Services, a new model is emerging. And it looks more like this. Implementation is no longer a phase, but a process. And the process is called delivery. And this is a really important word, so I'm going to read it and help everybody pronounce it. Delivery is the process of understanding and meeting user needs. Delivery, the continual process of understanding and meeting user needs. And this is what we've been trying to do at Code for America. Our team at Code for America has been trying to do this for a year. We've been trying to learn to deliver a snap. So for the last year, we've started every day with the same exact goal. Understand and meet user needs. It's the same thing every day. We sit down and we say, how can we understand and meet user needs? At the beginning of the year, a lot of needs were in plain sight. There was a lot of small ones, but they happened every single day. So this is an example. Currently, it can be tricky to check your balance, your Snap balance, to know how much money you actually have to spend. So we built a simple tool to help people check their balance more easily. Another small thing is that it's really hard to find free ATMs where you can actually withdraw your funds without getting charged the ATM surcharge fee. So we found all the free ATMs and we put them all on a map. Small thing. And then we just kept following users. So we found that the homepage of California's Snap application doesn't actually have the phrase Snap or food stamps or CalFresh. And it doesn't have a button that says apply. So we made a homepage that just says apply. Small things. We learned that the application itself is super long. It's like 30 screens and well over 200 questions if you choose to answer everything. And you don't actually need all those questions. You only need like 15 to 30. So we made a simple application. Then we learned that after people apply, a lot of folks miss one critical phone call, and then they don't know what to do next. So we started texting people. Don't miss this phone call, here's what to do next. And then after this phone call, when folks at the end come back to submit income statements and other required documents, we learned that the existing systems only allow you to upload documents in PDF or TIFF format, TIFF. So we built a simple tool for regular people to upload regular documents from their regular phone. And then we just kept going. We didn't stop, and we kept trying to understand and meet user needs. And eventually something surprising happened. We basically discovered a new type of need. And this time it was a piece of paper. It was a single piece of paper that California was sending to people in the mail. We were asking them to open it and sign their name at the bottom. And then we were asking for them to mail it all the way back to us. If they didn't do that, they didn't get Snap. And this small piece of paper turned out to be a big barrier. So after lots of research and meetings and phone calls and talking to lawyers, we learned that, and trust me, you just don't need this piece of paper at all. You can just get rid of it, delete the PDF. You never need to use it. And getting rid of this piece of paper was a feature to meet our users' needs. And we just happened to implement it through a series of meetings and talking to lawyers and going through a whole rigmarole. But it was still a feature to meet our users' needs. And what seemed to happen over time is that when focusing on user needs, focusing on delivery, has led us to software, which has led us to operations, government operations, like that piece of paper. And then operations has led us to policy, and hopefully someday policy will lead us out to law, all wrapped around user needs. Focusing on delivery is letting us kind of transform government services from the inside out. So, delivery is really simple. It's really hard, but really simple. And now I want to talk about a little bit of the harder parts. So this is the team that has stepped forward to lead the way in delivering Snap in the last year. And what started as a tiny side project with the director of Snap in San Francisco, Leo Farrell, and Liliana Sandoval at the San Francisco Marin Food Bank, is now dozens of people across a bunch of different counties, at the state, at the federal level, at a bunch of nonprofits, at a bunch of food banks. And the reason we need all these people working together, and the reason that it's so hard, is that government services, by and large, today are not organized around user needs. And it takes a ton of work to pick up these huge pieces of government and you have to move them. And they're really heavy, it's very slow, it's very frustrating at times. And it really feels like a generational project. Like this is a long slog. And as you go through this process, you will make mistakes because this is new work and there's not a roadmap. And making big mistakes and making your users unhappy is horrible, especially for the perfectionists and type A in the audience. It sucks, it hurts. But I believe that if we have perseverance and if we really support each other in this work, then delivery, focusing on the user need, will take us exactly where we need to go, and we can build government services that really put people first. Thank you.